All right, we are here with 3 very special guests. I was going to say 2, but it's 3. We have Ashley and Jared and Dawson in studio to talk about this season of Bachelor in Paradise.
This is what happens when you can't find a babysitter.
Yeah.
You have to bring your baby to work. That's right, buddy.
Honestly, you guys could have had me
amazing.
babysit and I'll just watch.
Yeah,
you guys
right.
talk
That's
about
so
the show. Give us a few minutes. It might get down to that.
Yeah,
He doesn't like sitting.
I will gladly
I'll
hold
leave
him
the
while you
room.
guys talk about it.
I'll leave the room. You guys can keep talking. But we're excited to have you guys.
Thanks for having us.
You were unexpected stars of this
You're
season.
telling us.
Stars or like people
I
on
mean,
screen? No, like the spinoff. Like I made a joke. Like, are you
was a
guys
show
getting a
within a
spinoff
show.
show? Because it just
Felt
turned
like we
into
were.
your guys' show.
Oh, well,
It
there's
was-
a lot of people online being like, are they trying to prep them for their own show? Because it's really bad. Yeah, it would be really bad.
I mean, I'm surprised. When we got the call to go down there, I was under the impression that it was like, well, it's going to be a quick thing. We're going to go down. And then they started elaborating on what they were thinking about. And even then, I was like, well, we're not going to get that much screen time. Like, it's going to be a quick thing. Like, we'll have a little story. We'll get to go on a date, and then we'll be out of there. And then when they were, I mean, we were so lucky and so happy. They're like, yeah, we think you guys are on like 4 or 5 episodes. And I was like, wait a minute.
You're
It
like,
definitely
wait.
confused us
Yeah.
because we were only there for 3 nights.
Yeah.
We're
And I was like,
how
that's
do you
amazing.
make 4 or 5 episodes out of 3 nights.
And then we watched the episode where we got literally double the amount of screen time
According to
Yes.
as
Bachelor
anybody else.
Yes.
Yes.
And I was like, I don't think people are going to like us very much.
Well,
like,
well, I don't know if that's what we thought or if that's what we were currently reading while watching the episode.
well, also we were watching, I remember, because I don't like watching myself like straight on TV. I don't know. It's like hearing your
Yeah.
own voice.
Yeah,
God,
totally.
I hate myself. So I have it on in the background, and I was playing Madden upstairs, and the TV was on downstairs, and she was watching, and I kept hearing our voices, and I was like, "We're on again."
Yeah.
But honestly, it was awesome. Like, I don't care. I don't care what people.
I think it also had a lot to do with the fact that like they've had past Bachelor in Paradise success story like couples come down, but it's like they're there very briefly,
Yeah.
and or they always do something, but it's like they're kind of in and out. So this was like, wait a second. How are they changing something?
You guys are moving
It
in?
was like,
But they
it
changed
really
something.
felt like they changed it
They
where
made-
they made more episodes.
They
right?
made
Like,
more
it's-
16 episodes.
Exactly.
They literally called me in June or like May, whatever. And they're like, hey, we've been expanded many more weeks than usual. Like, we're thinking of new things to do.
Yeah.
And we're thinking about bringing you and Jared down. We definitely thought we'd be like amongst a couple featured married couples.
Right.
But we weren't.
No.
Which is an honor, honestly, for them to think that, like, let's show them.
Yeah, and honestly, it doesn't make me mad at all that some people didn't enjoy it. Sorry, yeah, we're gonna keep switching them off.
Yeah. That's okay.
Because like Ashley and I really don't care what people say. We're definitely over that now. But it makes me sad that it feels like we almost failed production.
That's what we're really
That's what we're sad about, because they brought us on.
You guys know.
And
I don't
They
think
were,
you
like,
excited. Like, they really thought
They were
that people were
excited.
gonna
We were
love
excited,
it.
and like the fact that people were like, "We don't want to see a married couple on there." It's like, shit.
It was just unexpected. I don't think they didn't prepare the viewer enough
could have
for
done
it.
that. Right,
like it
right.
was less like if in the trailer for the whole season they were like, people are gonna fall in love. We're bringing past couples down because I know they have other people coming too. So it's like
Yeah.
if they said like, we're bringing past couples down, we're gonna like really, it's gonna be this whole just like celebration of them and new love and everything, then it would have been different. It was just kind of like, well, wait a second.
Right,
I know.
that is
think-
such a good point because we
Yeah.
were barely in the promos.
Yeah.
And for how much I thought they were going to show, because I thought they were going to show a little bit more, I was like, oh, well, I guess according to the promo, they're not going to show much.
Right.
And then boom. And even people were tweeting us, and they were like, they're here for the entire summer. It's like, no, guys, we leave on Monday.
No, don't worry.
We're not
Believe
here
me.
for the entire time. But honestly, it was so much fun going down there, because that beach, as weird as that sound, it's a
there's,
fucking
like,
TV
you know
show.
the beauty and the pain? You know, like when you finally get over a breakup, even if it takes like years to fully recover, and then you kind of like reminisce on how sad you were, and you can like feel all the things. It's like the Taylor Swift's Red album.
Yeah.
Really.
Yes.
But then like you find like that like everything works out for
Yeah.
you. That's
You can
what it
laugh at
was.
things after
it was
that.
like being nostalgic and but like seeing all the beauty in spots that weren't great for us.
Mhm.
Was that the weirdest thing ever?
Nah,
But then we got engaged too there, so that was
Yes.
good.
Obviously, that was
Except
a
for
good memory.
they ruined that engagement with my ex being there. So yeah, just like lots of memories, and it was just really fun to reminisce and to just finally be happy together there and laugh about it.
Now, when you're on the beach, how much are you guys in the know of what's going on with the other couples down there? Like, what are you
everything.
in on the drama? How comfortable do they feel telling you guys what's happening?
So many people came up to us. Like there was a point where I remember I was talking to, I forget who the hell it was, maybe Logan or Casey or someone at this point, and Romeo was waiting to talk to us. And I was like, this is weird.
Yeah,
That, like they're waiting.
Come
like,
on down.
We want the advice. Like, we really want to talk to you guys, which was so sweet. And so, yeah, we were in the know. It was cool because we were just non-threatening to
It's
anybody
like
there.
Wells.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're an
People-
in-between of producers and cast, because when you like cast, you don't want to talk to them, and producers you definitely don't want to talk to. We were kind of a middle ground, but as far as if we were like in the know, the producers were very open with what was kind of like on the horizon.
Yeah.
So it was kind of fun to look at people and like, you don't know what's about to happen to you.
Right, which is what happened, I think, this week with
Yeah.
the whole, if you watch Love Island, what we call Casa Amor situation, when they bring in new people
Yep.
and send the
Yeah.
girls to a different house, which is what happened on these episodes.
Yeah, it's like they're calling it the switch. Like it's like the big switch.
Right. It's literally what they took it from Love Island, but we love
which
it.
was smart.
Like,
it was great.
it was,
Yeah.
I think, great.
It
It
was
needs it.
great.
Yeah.
It
It
needs it.
definitely
They
felt like
needed
a
to
mix.
change something up a little
We're
bit.
what 6, 7 episodes in. We've had 2 rose ceremonies. Like, there's
Yeah.
got to be like a big switch coming. I think from now on till the rest of the season, it's gonna be chaos.
Yeah.
From what we understand,
It seems that way.
which would be great.
And I
to watch.
truly don't know what happens once everybody gets like back together again.
No, yeah, we don't know how it worked. Like, we know some things obviously, but we don't know like how it came to be.
Yeah.
Right. Like
So that's
what's
exciting.
the real drama going to be? So I want to go through some of the couples and hear your thoughts on what happened. Right. So I think a big focus was Michael. He was kind of didn't really have anybody.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen for him? They kind of sent Danielle down as like, and they were just like, here, we're saving you. Here she is.
The heavenly gates opened up, and Danielle
Yes.
Elm
M.
Maltby.
And
I
it
like
felt,
Danielle.
I do too. It felt like if I had to guess, like production had an idea of how well these two would potentially work, because it was very convenient that they went on their date while the switch was happening. So it was like, oh, Michael, don't worry. We're not going to send Danielle away. We're just going to send all the other girls away.
Yeah.
Danielle stays. Well, we knew that Michael was interested in Danielle even before that rose ceremony, because he mentioned when he broke up with Sierra, or they ended things, we were talking to Michael one night and we said, well, is there anybody else that you'd want to see come down the stairs? And he said Danielle.
Who I
So-
think he had an inkling would be coming,
I
because that
think
would have been a random.
had to.
You think they
Had
must
to
have
have
talked a little bit, and I think that's something we're seeing
have.
more and more every year, is
They
that
did- they did
everyone
say
is
they talked.
talking
Yeah, and
and
that's
Do you
fine.
guys-
communicating.
Do you remember on our season when Joe Bailey got villainized to the extreme for talking to Samantha before the
Yes,
season?
I
And
do
it's
remember
like,
that.
It happens so much now. Poor Joe Bailey.
Now it's like you can talk, just don't like
Don't fucking lie about it.
don't actually date, or like if you're photographed in public, people are gonna assume
Yeah.
you met each other before.
Right. I think it's about being honest that you guys have talked and established that. But I do feel like people pick and choose on who they're going to get mad at and who they're not going to get mad at when it comes to
1000%.
that. It's like, I think at this point, you just have to expect that people are going to talk to each other off the show. They're going to run into each other.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to keep it so that like nobody speaks to each other? It's just with social media and how everyone's so connected, it's kind of
Yeah,
impossible.
the
at this
DMs are
point.
on fire
Right,
now, you know,
DM.
between
And
Bachelor
who-
Nation.
The producers and whoever is running the show doesn't have everyone's logins. They can't monitor who's DMing people. So
Well, I think the trick is just to be honorable. You can kind of tell people, hey, I'm interested in seeing you there, and like you can like hang out in a group. But if you're gonna go beyond that, then you just know you're gonna get crap in paradise.
Right.
So why even go there? It's better. You're way more advantageous for you to just hold off on that.
What it really comes down to, I find, is that just the guys are stupid. And I include myself in that statement, because there's so many times where the guys will talk to girls and be like, oh, we're just going to go down as friends. and then we're gonna date other people. And I'm like, you know that's not gonna
Who
gonna
said that
that's
except
not gonna
for you?
happen. No, I remember. So before Blake, not to say Blake's stupid, he's obviously a very nice man. I'm just like generalizing and kind of making fun. But I remember we hung out with Blake before he went down to Paradise, before like the whole stagecoach thing happened, and everybody knew that he had multiple relationships with girls going down to Paradise. And we were talking to him. We were like, "Are you sure? Like it's gonna be fine?"
Yeah.
And then he's like, "We're all like, nope,
All
we're all
good.
friends.
Yeah,
we talked
we're
about it.
friends.
We're fine."
Yeah.
And then Ashley and I were like, we told him this. We were like, just be careful because like, you know, it's gonna be very easy just to like all point at you. He's like, no, we're all friends. Like, trust me, we're fine. We talked about it many times. Everybody's okay. Everybody knows we're going to date other people.
Yeah, but
like, all right.
he was feeling himself that year so much. He thought he was indestructible.
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody thinks they're indestructible.
Definitely. Did you guys get to meet Peter before he was?
Oh, yeah, Pizza
before he
Pete.
left?
Pizza Peter.
Yes.
Yes. Jared, we were just very entertained by him. Like every season, there's like that person that you're like, where did this person come from? You don't
Totally.
seem to really meet them in real life, you know? And he came down, and there was a bit that you guys missed out on. And I don't know if they continued it, but they did it while he entered and he was like mingling with the girls.
They brought a pizza every hour.
No, not every hour, baby. It was like every 10 minutes they were bringing a pizza down. They go, did somebody order a pizza? Did
Pizza!
somebody order a pizza? I
that
was
was really funny.
peeing my pants, and they brought it down with like pineapple every time because I knew that bothered him.
Dude. Oh, yeah. So they brought it down with pineapple every time. And then Casey.
Oh, they showed one pizza.
Yeah, they
okay.
showed
There's
one.
one pizza, and he was like, "Get this pineapple off this
Yeah.
pizza."
Oh, dude, it's so funny. And then Casey, I just remember, reached right in front of Pete. He was like, "I love pizza," and he just grabbed it and ate it right in front of his face, and it was pretty funny. Casey, I love. He's great.
Casey definitely liked to stir the pot a little bit, and then it seemed to actually hurt his health after he straight up passed out.
Yeah.
Well, that was from like an ankle injury, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, like-
didn't he stumble on the wrong
No, he
thing?
claimed that it was just like after he set it up so that
He didn't have to get
told-
eliminated at a rose ceremony.
Yeah, well, that too. But he also wanted, at a last-ditch effort, he told Brittany that Peter was like talking shit, saying that, you know, he's she wants to be an influencer. And then when everybody was confronting Peter and like the beach, one of those situations like last season where like the beach bands together to send somebody home.
Oh, we
So
hate
dramatic.
that. I
They
hate
tried
that.
to do that with Peter, and then I think Casey was like, "I'm feeling faint," and then he just went down. He was okay, but he just went
He
down.
had some good comments though.
He did have good commentary.
Dude
Good
was scheming at all hours, guys. He'd
Oh, I
come
love
up
it.
to us every hour with a new plan.
Oh, yeah. and
It
you
was
were
just like, I'm sorry, the girls don't really like you. Now, the audience is going to love you because you're great at being in the interview room.
Yeah, I was like, dude,
Yeah.
you are not getting a rose from a girl. But like, if you keep this up, maybe like production will throw a rose towards you. Be like, stay around. We like you narrating.
Yeah.
I found him so entertaining. He was like the villain in every movie who just like kept explaining his diabolical plan. And I'm like, dude, I need to hear more of this. Like, and he was having so much fun with it.
Yeah.
I loved it. You need people like that in Paradise.
Right,
Yeah, you
to
do.
stir things up. I wish that you guys were there to host the other house where the girls left to this episode.
Oh, yeah.
I wish you guys were there to host that so you guys could have gotten a little intel on how they were acting at all hours, because let me tell
girls.
you, watching it was brutal.
I think it
girls.
was that brutal
What-
because when we talked to the girls afterward, they made it seem like they had never been tortured like that. It was like they were sent to a prison.
and
And it was
yeah.
Vendanta
But
with air
yeah.
conditioning.
looked beautiful.
Grocery store Joe tweeted like upside as they have AC, and I was like, yes, like imagine you get to go stay in the hotel. And there were a couple girls who like you could tell kept their cool. Victoria F, like she was
She's
like
just cool
she's cool.
always.
Like I'm like, you know what, I'm really becoming a big fan of her. She's just cool. She doesn't care. She's like, whatever, Johnny does that, I really like him, keep my cool. But some
Exactly.
yeah, he agrees. But Jill and Genevieve were losing their damn minds.
And
Jill especially. Genevieve, yes, she's been losing her mind the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, Jill has to.
Has really lost her mind.
I love Jill.
as
And it's
We're
not-
friends with Jill in real life.
It's not
I know
a
she's
dislike
big.
towards
Yeah.
Jill.
No.
Yeah, no,
Because
I know.
I'm about to
Like,
say
I know,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to preface it by saying I love Jill more than anything.
Yes.
She is literally the best. But like, first of all, you got Scent of Vendanta, which is way nicer than Sayulita. So with AC and a nicer bed. And like, what are you risking? losing
Shower
Jacob.
inside.
Yeah, yeah,
A
yeah.
bathroom
Like,
with a lock
Jacob's
on
very
it?
nice. Don't get me wrong, but like Jill.
Yeah.
Jill.
And my thought process was Jill can do better than Jacob.
yeah.
So
Like,
I
what
was
is she
like,
thinking?
why is she so hung up on Jacob? Because Jacob's the kind of guy that I think he's just gonna like whoever the next hot thing that
Yeah.
walks in is
That's it.
he's just gonna hook up with them.
Which is exactly what
in
happens.
real life too. Like
Oh,
I think
1000%.
on the show, real life, I think he's just that player kind of guy. Where I think Jill could do better with like a really stand up guy who
Yeah.
that she has a real connection with. So I was like, she's really losing her mind over Jacob.
Classic in the bachelor bubble mentality. She's just not thinking that there's a world outside of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Jill, relax. Like Genevieve, I get she really likes Aaron, and then Aaron is definitely a hot commodity.
And he's
so
very
like,
sweet. He was the most
He is.
surprising of all the cast members.
have you met Aaron before?
No.
You guys are gonna really like him.
We
Really,
ju-
because I think we flip and flop on Aaron.
we kind of have like, I think we kind of have the same probably impression that the girls do when they're like, oh, we thought he was just like this like bro-y guy who
meathead.
doesn't care about anything, which is probably how we think about him more.
I
than,
think that happens though every time you meet somebody in real life and in person. That's happened to us so many
Yeah,
times.
almost
where
everyone.
we end up interviewing somebody and we go, you know what, they were really cool because you don't really know somebody,
No.
and you just see one side of them, and then you meet them and you're like, you know what, they're a real human being too. I think
so
that
you
happens
get,
a lot.
Like, you get his appeal. He's tall. He's jacked. He is like very sweet.
He's sweet,
Yeah.
which
He
is
is
shocking.
sweet.
He's funny and very self-aware. He makes fun of himself all the time.
Yeah, said he's only coming to Audrey's if I get protein in there.
Protein
I gotta get some
powder.
Protein powder.
On the rim of the
Yeah.
martini.
Yeah.
So yeah, I told him straight to his face. I was like, I couldn't stand you on the show. I've always like kind of like talked shit about you on the podcast
Yeah.
because you look like you're always trying to start a fight and you're like always angry. It's like, hi, I'm Aaron, I'm angry.
Yeah, yeah.
And like he's just not at all.
yeah.
And it does seem like in this moment he is kind of sticking with Genevieve, even though she's freaking out. Like with the switch, he hasn't really been talking to one of the other
Yeah.
girls. I don't know if that's going to change, but right now that's kind of where he's at. But they definitely, and that like Jacob is jumping headfirst with Kate, and Kate, Kate has to watch what she's saying, I think, a little bit more, because she's like, I'm gonna get a rose.
Yep.
I'm staying. I'll do anything. I'll do whatever it takes to stay. And it's like, oh, when you start saying stuff like that in your interview, you're gonna come across disingenuous. Like nobody's gonna think you're there for a connection. They think
Yeah.
you're just there to like be on Paradise for as long as possible.
Yeah, and watching them make out in the pool, and you're like, I want to believe they have like this insane sexual chemistry, but only I'm thinking is,
Yeah.
she's just trying to seduce him into getting a
and,
rose.
And Kate was
I'm
like, he's not my type. But like, I never go for
she,
guys
and
like
she was like,
him.
at this point though, my sights are set on him, like
Yeah.
to get a rose.
Exactly. My
Yeah.
sights are set on him because he is the
A meal
easiest
ticket.
target.
Yes.
And I'm going to get a rose from that guy.
Right.
And then another guy will come down next
Yeah.
week and should be like, Jacob, it was nice knowing you. I have the power now.
Yeah. How sweet are Brandon and Serene? I can't get over it.
Yeah.
They like Brandon has just seemed to have his eyes locked on her from the beginning.
What a cute man. They were like very much like on their own, just being calm, cool, chill,
Yeah.
and like in love. But we did get to have a nice little moment with Brendan on our last night, and there's something about him. It's very endearing. He has it almost seems like he has no idea how good looking he is, because like he doesn't have a player bone in his body. Like he just wants to romance a lady, and I don't know, Jared. Like it was so cute.
I think he
Yeah.
just
came
loves
talked to
love,
us.
and he
does.
just really believes in
He's
it.
just a
He's
regular
cute.
guy. Like
Hopeless
he came,
romantic.
I don't know, we were in our room and then he maybe was doing an interview or something, walked past, and then like they let him come in.
It's like, hey,
Because
come
like
in
they
here.
don't like cast do anything, obviously. And then so we talked to him for like an hour and a half before the road. Maybe not that long.
Well,
but,
that
like,
was an exaggeration.
maybe like an hour or so, but like before the rose ceremony, we were just talking about movies because he's like, "Oh, I heard you're a film guy. I'm a huge film buff," and we were just talking for a while. And I was like, "Man, this guy's really sweet and down to earth and endearing."
Gentleness.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
did say something super funny when I first got there. When we first got down there, I don't think he knew our story at all.
No.
So they sat us down. Like I went with the guys, she went with the girls. They only aired the girl stuff, but like they had us like, okay, Jared, who are you? Why are you here?
Yeah, yeah.
So we had to recap everything. So I'm telling the story about how Ashley and I got together and how we had this trip planned with St. Lucia with Tanner and Jade, and then she was with Kevin at this point, but I knew I had to make a move to really like show her that I was I'm here and I'm serious about this. So I kissed her at the airport, and he goes, Brendan goes, you kissed her and she was dating another guy? And I said, yeah, man. I said, I needed to do what I needed to do. He goes, yo, that's sketch.
We so wish that was gonna make air.
man.
That's actually really funny.
Oh, it was great. 'cause
He's like, oh, so I'm supposed to believe this guy?
yeah, this fucking guy.
Yeah. That what a testament to like how pure and
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to take advice from you.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And it was very sweet. We can talk about the Lace and Rodney situation, but one of my favorite moments was Lace comes back to this wasn't my favorite moment, but she comes back to the beach and she's talking to other guys. She's trying to get information out of the other guys, and Brandon's just like, how are the other girls? How are the other girls? Is Serene okay? Like, and Lace is like, I'm not talking to you about the other girls. Tell me about Rodney, because all the guys are like, well, we're not letting anything.
Yeah.
We're not telling you anything, but Rodney and clearly wanted to meet Eliza. She came down in this new batch. He was smitten right off the bat.
They're a cute couple.
Yeah, and after like Lace was gone, she was also kind of having little meltdowns as well in the other area. So of course, like this is Bachelor in Paradise producers at its finest. They allowed Lace to go back to the beach. And
Meanwhile, Jill is probably like screaming.
all the other girls are not allowed. They just let Lace go at the same time that Rodney's on this date with Eliza, so that when they come back, Lace is standing on the beach waiting for them, which was where we left off. Is going to be a little bit of a cliffhanger there.
Devious.
But did you guys see a connection between Rodney and Lace?
Truly, we thought it was the weirdest thing. Wells said recently that there's always like that one offbeat couple, right? And that's them. It's kind of like a Carly and Evan.
I was just gonna say
But, like,
Carly
you can,
and Evan.
Yeah, but you can kind of like, well, because of situations that like end up like that. I mean, they were married for like 4 years.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like, okay, well, maybe this could happen.
No, I knew from that. As soon as I heard about it, because Lace was telling us, I was like, Rodney? I'm like, great for you, but damn, I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
And then, so as soon as we heard about like the split, I'm like,
This isn't gonna go well for Lace.
I don't think that's good. I honestly thought Jacob and Jill might make it through, but now obviously there's no way. I was like, they're so weird together. Maybe he's gonna like that. And then I was like, no.
I wouldn't be surprised though if he's one of the kind of guys that wants to have all the fun while the girls are away, and then when Jill comes back would try and entertain it. But he did straight up say to Kate, like, she's not. I don't see it.
He said, I don't wake up thinking about her.
No, he was kind of harsh. He was like, she's so cool, like she's such a great human, but like I don't see it working with her.
Dude, that's the tough part. It's you have to be honest in Paradise.
Yeah.
And it's like, but in order to, like the way Michael was honest with Sierra, a lot of people are saying that like I saw a meme. It was like, you either die here or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. But it's like Michael was just being, from our understanding, like he wasn't as into Sierra as people thought.
Somebody brought
that's what I said. I said I don't think he really even liked her from the beginning.
I mean, he liked her,
but I don't think it was
moving
like
so fast, and he's like, wait
Yeah.
a minute, hold on, I gotta put pause on this.
So I was talking to Joe, grocery store Joe, the other day, and he was saying that, like, when you have like serious conversations like that about like some like really special person to you dying, that like it connects you, because like if you cry together, you may feel like really close. And he was saying that like maybe she felt super connected to him because he kept like opening his heart in that way, but it didn't mean that he was completely feeling romantic toward her.
Right.
That makes a lot of sense.
No, it does make
Joe
it
with
does
the
make
wisdom.
sense.
I know.
When he's
that
not
guy.
making pasta sauce, he's just spreading wisdom.
That he is, but no, there's a.
When it comes to Lace and her being so worked up over Rodney, do you think that just comes from a place of not wanting to be rejected rather than like her actually liking Rodney?
1000%.
I also think she really did
I
like
think
Rodney.
she likes Rodney, but like to the Lace is when you
And
go.
when you're going back on the show again, you're like, I can't let this like
Yes.
go poorly.
It's more of exactly. And I also think when you detach yourself from the show, it's very easy when you just like your first time in Paradise to really fall into the everything, like my entire world will explode if I don't get a rose.
Right.
But then when you go back, like Lace, and when we went back, it's a little bit more, okay, we're gonna be okay. Like we'll be fine.
Right.
So I think with Lace, it was more, I agree, we're like, this is my other time in Paradise, like I can't let this guy go off with another girl and then I get home.
Yeah.
I think she likes Rodney, sure.
Yeah, but maybe it was a little bit of an embarrassing thing. Also, like they're like, "You're 32," or that one bitch was like,
Oh my God,
"You're
who was that?
32."
Who was that?
so-
Who said that?
In the beginning,
beginning.
because she was
The
like,
girl
I'm
got
all about
eliminated.
alum coming in, but like 6 years, move on.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
who is
it
her?
was
Also,
the one that we didn't know who it was.
We had no idea how
Hillary?
she got there.
Oh, Haley.
Haley.
How did
Yeah,
like
she-
Haley?
how did
Who are
she
you?
get there?
Yeah.
And also, 32 is not old in any way, shape, or form.
Trent was very, very upset by that comment as well. He was like, Lace is Bachelor in Paradise. Like, she's a royalty in this. Like, how old is Haley?
Yeah,
think
and
she
it
is?
was truly everyone was like, I remember watching, being like, so, because I started watching later than everybody else, so I just thought as somebody I didn't know, and they were like, no, we're just not really sure who she is either.
No.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be such a shame if in like, say, I don't know, 6 years, Haley's still single, and they ask her to
And
go
they
back
ask her
on
to go
Paradise.
back.
She better say no. She
Yeah.
better say no.
Yeah.
And
No.
then you have another 25-year-old being like, you're old.
Oh, you're old. Get off this
They
beach.
only bring her back to boo her off the beach.
Shanae is the one that was probably the most receptive to new guys coming in. The other girls seemed
didn't-
very upset.
because she was with Logan.
Yeah, she like doesn't. I don't think she was playing this game with Logan. I think she does like Logan, but Shanae goes on a date with Tyler, and Logan goes on a date with Sarah. They're jump cutting from each of their dates, and they're having a good time. But Shanae seems to really like Tyler.
Right, but from the coming attractions, I think he's going to like
Brittany.
Oh well, that's something I can ship.
Yeah.
Tyler and
Love
Brittany.
Brittany.
I like
Brittany
Brittany a lot
is
too. But I like
so
Andrew and
stunning,
Brittany.
so
Yeah.
cool, so
Andrew,
smart.
yeah.
No.
You
No?
like
too.
we like
Oh.
Andrew and Brittany
We're-
too.
no.
I
Yeah.
like Andrew and Brittany.
Oh,
Oh, you
Andrew's
do?
the
Okay,
best.
okay.
Yeah, I like
yeah,
Andrew and I
really
like
like
Brittany. I
They're
like
from
them
Chicago,
separately.
right? I keep holding on to that. I'm like, they're
Yeah.
from the same city.
Yeah, that can
Trust me,
work
we're-
really easily.
We're rooting for it.
We're rooting
Yeah.
for Brittany with
But maybe
anything.
that's why it makes us sad. 'Cause,
Dang.
like we want it
Yeah,
so
yeah.
badly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Damn
Yeah.
it, Dawson. He dropped
Now,
the
do you
pacifier.
guys know Logan at all?
Yeah, we met him once.
Not really.
Because I
We
just
never really
I
found a
can't get
connection.
I can't get a read
He
on him.
seems just a little bit like, yeah, bro. Like he's just like that San Diego.
Yep.
I don't really.
Easy breezy,
Easy,
just
yeah.
whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, all right, cool, man. Like
He was the
nice
only
talking to you.
person we didn't have he was the only person we didn't have a conversation with that was like meaningful there or like
Yeah.
stuck with us.
And it doesn't mean
He
I'm
made
sure
no
he-
impression on us.
But
But
he
it's like,
doesn't
no,
really seem like
whatever.
he's had any meaningful conversations there either. so.
I know. It's
I
just
don't
kinda-
like. I
Just
feel
in
like the poor
general.
guy's getting
Yeah.
a lot of hate
I know.
because he's just like the.
I know. I
bland
can't help
one.
but like hate on him, and I'm
I
just like I
know.
don't even really know. Maybe it's there's something.
He's just along for the ride. Like
There's
he's like,
just
this is
something
cool, I'm
about
with
him
you."
that I
Like,
don't
both
trust.
seasons along
Exactly.
for the ride.
I keep saying there's something about him I don't trust, and I don't know what it is. But I'm not getting like.
Well, don't forget, he was one of the guys that for Gabby and Rachel's season, there was like so many girls on TikTok being like, "Girls of San Diego, unite!" Like, how many
Really?
people have been
Oh,
on dates with
really?
Logan? And there was like so many people.
Really?
Yes,
I
they were
think
like,
the whole
he's a,
San
he
Diego
dates a lot in San Diego.
The whole
apparently.
San
Interesting.
Diego pack.
Yeah, there's a
besides
crew over there.
Hannah
Yeah.
and Dylan, who we love, but there's a whole crew that I'm just like, I'm on to
Right,
all
well,
you guys.
yeah.
Yeah. I know you San Diegans.
Yeah.
Whales vaginas.
What's going on over there?
Dude, I remember though when I was before Ash, she knows this story too. There was a restaurant and that I
Hey, dude, I got it.
I know, bro. He keeps
It's-
dropping me pacifier. But I was out one night, and this girl at a restaurant that I used to go to, she was like, "Oh, you're Jared. I watched the show, blah blah blah." She's like, "I work at this place where you bring all your dates," and I was like, "Bring all my dates?" And then I was honestly trying to think. I'm like, I've been on like 2 dates to this restaurant in the past like 3 years. I like this restaurant, but like, I'm trying to think of like who. She's like, "Oh yeah, it's like we know that you." It's
We
like
know
your
it. It's
date night."
okay. Don't worry.
And I
Like
was
we're
like,
keeping
wait a
it
minute.
Like,
secret.
wink, wink. Yeah.
But then I really started thinking about it. So I'm really close with my sister, my best friend Crystal, who signed me up for the show, and my cousin Sarah. And I'm thinking, like, do they think that like every time I go with my sister or my best friend, that's like a date?
A date.
Plus, when a producer came to film me for Paradise, I brought her there because I was like, this is my favorite place to go.
yeah.
And so she must have thought that I was a date, and then I brought 2 dates, and I'm pretty sure I brought you there at one time too. I don't
Not
remember.
before we were together.
Then I was like, oh shit.
So
I
this-
wonder if it was
Damn.
like Rhode Island unite against Jared.
I mean,
Like, I swear it's my sister.
that is a classic mix-up, though. Like,
Yeah, it is.
I don't think it's
being
a
out
classic
with your
mix up with
sister.
Logan.
No,
Yeah.
like, no,
it's a
but
little bit of a romantic restaurant for you to be taking Crystal, your cousin, and Shannon though. It is
It's
a
at
little
the
weird.
bar. We're bar
Is that at the
people.
bar?
Yeah. She's not a bar.
still-
She's not a
That's
bar person.
that's
It's
date
a-
vibes
it's a
though.
datey
Like if you're going
restaurant.
at the
I
bar,
know.
you're like casual. We're grabbing drinks.
Yeah.
and maybe we'll
We've been
order
together
food.
for so long. It's not
Let's
even.
just- honey,
like
let's
a
just
night
sit at the
out.
bar.
Yeah, it's just
Oh,
a
we'll talk to
meal
the
out.
bartender.
Yeah.
We'll learn about him.
Yeah.
Dude, I would love to be a
It's
bar
like a
person.
candlelit, intimate restaurant.
We're gonna have to see pictures. After.
Did you guys? So were you still there when the new people came in? Like, did you get to talk to any of the
No.
new people? Because I'm curious about these just Australian folks that they threw in here.
I know Florence
Okay, you know Florence
because I was on Bachelor in Paradise Australia when she was on Winter Games all those years
You were on
ago.
Bachelor in
Paradise
Paradise Australia?
I was
Yeah.
supposed to be on
It was
Winter
below
Games,
him.
and then they got a call.
He wasn't supposed to be on Winter Games.
Well-
They had to choose between one of us.
Yeah.
pretty much, and they chose Ashley.
And then they
I'm
put
on
you
the
on
record as
just
like Winter
like,
Games
on
like
the
biggest
record, I
fan.
won that
loved,
battle.
I loved Winter Games. I was like the only person to
Well, you can
actually
get the
watch
hell
Winter
out of here
Games.
then.
Sorry,
of your
babe,
own
to bring up
office.
a sweet spot, a sore spot. They actually should have put us together on Winter Games because then we
No,
probably
it all
would've-
worked out.
No,
obviously.
we could have gotten.
Yes.
We could have actually just gotten together on Winter Games. Then it would have happened on camera.
But yeah, so Florence was on my season of Bachelor in Paradise Australia. So I was down in Australia for 2 weeks. I made it through like 5 rose ceremonies. I didn't kiss anybody. Honestly, truthfully, I'll never forget. I was on a date with a girl and I was sitting next to her and I was thinking about all the times that we had. And even though Paradise was a struggle for me, like about how much I enjoyed my time with that. Like I was like, man, I just like one of those moments that guys
Yeah.
have where I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm such a fucking moron.
Like how you just
I
like
had
blink
such-
and you're like, how the hell am I on this beach in
Oh,
Australia?
so terrible. So Florence was on my season of Bachelor in Paradise Australia, so I saw that she was coming in this summer, but we just missed her, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys have talked about this before, but how was, and I'm sorry that I'm even bringing this up, but you brought up the story of you kissing her while she was with Kevin.
Yeah.
Okay, how did Kevin feel about all of this? Was like, has that ever been talked about?
Yeah, because he talked about it on Paradise when we
Yeah.
got engaged.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
we watched that.
I
all
know, but I'm
happen.
kind of blanking.
Yeah,
He
no,
was like-
blanking. He was like up on the. Yeah.
I'm
mean, we were-
blanking. I don't know.
We were very open, like we talked about in the story of us about how like that was it though. We legitimately kissed, and then
One time, and
to be
then-
fair, I kissed her. Like I was the bad guy in the
Yeah.
scenario. It's not like Ashley. I sought it out
And
because I knew I
granted-
needed to make a move.
No, but
We
you guys,
had
it worked
never,
out for you.
We had never said we were boyfriend and girlfriend at that point. We never had that
Yeah.
conversation, and we had only known each other for 1 month.
Yeah.
So like, if
I mean, it worked out for both of you
Yeah.
guys.
I know.
As I was just
I
saying,
know.
not
it
to
worked
like
out for the
downplay
best.
the relationship, but like, yeah, because it was definitely not right. To
No, it
kiss
definitely
her.
wasn't right, but
No.
I knew what I needed to do because I
Yeah.
knew exactly.
You had to step up.
I had to step up after all my years of
And
failing.
like they're
Yeah.
But guys, look at what happened though. If
babies out of
if that
this.
didn't get broke, if that didn't get broken, it was 2 babies out of
Yeah,
this.
so-
That's what I'm
Exactly.
saying.
So
For
it's like
both
beautiful
parties.
babies.
Then like he wouldn't
If-
have gone on Bachelor in
Yeah, yeah,
Paradise.
yeah.
And it's
As
just,
every
like, crazy.
90s cop movie would say, sometimes doing the right thing isn't doing the right
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
There you go.
The other Australian is like actually Thor's stunt double, which is insane.
Wait, that's
No, that was
real.
It was real. I looked up his Instagram. I was like, I have to fact check
really
this.
his
He
stunt double?
I thought
really
that
is his
was like
stunt
a
double.
little.
No, he literally one of his last posts is behind the scene pictures from Thor: Love and Thunder of him like dressed as Thor, like he's actually Thor's.
So pretty much
Body
these girls
double.
are going to go after him and be like, maybe I
But
can
no,
get the
no,
Chris.
Nobody bit.
Nobody's talking to him. I don't know. These
Nobody
girls
looked
need
his
to
way.
get out of this
Yeah,
funk.
they're like-
nobody's talking. He's literally Thor. They're all like crying, sitting at the pool. Like nobody's talking to
I'll
anybody.
I'll tell you, it seems ridiculous, but like once you're there and you've like made your
Yeah.
heart's decision, it's so hard to
I wanna
jump out of
shake
it.
some of these
I
girls.
was
Like,
so annoyed.
this man is.
You guys
in the
should be
pool.
hosting where the girls go to
Yeah.
Vedanta.
Tell us
Oh, that
about
would be
it.
Oh
so
my God.
amazing.
Listen, we
Be like,
said-
ladies, this is like
We've had this convo with Robert Mills. Oh, you
We've tried to say, let us host a date. And then yesterday we talked about BravoCon and we said, all right, we'll host a panel at BravoCon next year. And then ABC and Bravo can fight each other for us or something. Because we better host something in the future
Yeah, no
because we haven't hosted anything. We've been trying.
yeah, this is ridiculous. I can't believe they're not trying for you. It'd be so perfect.
I
know
they
they'll
had-
send Lil Jon down, who totally cares
he
about
loves,
the show.
He loves the show.
I know.
Yeah.
I think they found out that didn't really work out because you need a
No.
host who actually cares about the couples. It should have been
Totally.
either Wells. I mean, well, I love Jesse. Jesse's so great.
Jesse is cracking me up right now with like the power he has and like the way
Yeah.
the dramatic of just like this is going to change everything.
He's
being
he
a
said it like
parody
5
of a
times, which I
host.
love.
Don't you think he's being like a
like
parody?
almost?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
but-
good though. He needs to lean more into that because if he's just trying to be like what Harrison was, it's not going to work out.
No,
'Cause
no.
It's just like you can't, you know.
Yeah.
No, you got to find your own lane.
Exactly. Find your lane.
But I want to go back to just the girls acting like that. It's so easy to make fun of, but I'm telling you guys, if you were there, you would do the same thing.
Yeah.
I promise.
No,
That's why
yeah.
I
because when
you don't
people-
know until you're in the position.
No. When people used to be like, "Oh, it's not working out with Jared," but actually, look who's coming down. This person and this person.
Yeah, but it's what you
and I'd be
needed to
like,
hear.
"Ugh." No,
Yeah.
it didn't.
Yes.
No, those were all gross guys.
talked about
except,
this
for
too.
except for Wells.
We've talked about this all the
I
time
had a
about
lovely date with.
of what Nick told you on the beach, which they replayed, which is exactly what you needed to hear, which is what I needed to hear too. Be like, Jared, like you guys, because the problem was you and I were just like kind of toxic for each other for a certain extent, you know. I think we were hurting our chances with other people and hurting
Because we
chances
were
for
never
ourselves.
supposed to be with other people.
I agree, but my point being
and
is
you were
that
fighting the fate.
But my
Yeah.
point being is like Jill and Jacob are probably not meant to be
Yeah,
together.
of
You know what
course
I mean?
not.
So it's like someone needs to go down like
Yeah.
these two
Yeah.
and shake Jill and be like, listen, Jacob's not the guy for
Yeah.
you. This guy who's
Thor's
like the
stunt
better
double is literally directly in front
Thor's
of you.
stunt double who like listen, I love Jacob obviously,
Yeah.
but it's Thor's stunt
Yeah.
double. It's like Jacob's the poor man
Jacob's a
version
wa-
of him.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
That's exactly what I was going to say. He wishes he was Thor's stunt double.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm the
This
poor man
man is
version of a lot of people.
actually-
So I'm like, Jacob, I understand your pain, brother. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Yeah.
Oh
damn.
man, but no, it's been it's definitely going to be juicy for sure, and I know we'll pick up with how Lace is going to react with Rodney, which is probably not going to be good.
Oh, I
Nope.
can't wait. It's gonna be fantastic.
But
to
it's
watch,
gonna be
though.
good TV.
what
it'd be the
was
best.
what was like the most surprising thing on the beach that like when you guys got on the plane and you said, Jared, we got to talk about this.
I
one
think
thing."
it was Lace and Rodney, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, because there's so much. Yeah, there's so many similarities. It almost felt like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's paradise, just right back into the swing of things.
Watching your episodes. Were you guys like, wow, I wish they cut I wish they didn't use like all of these
Well, we
Oh,
didn't
Party.
want to talk about
Yeah.
the boom boom room that much. They made
Well,
it seem like I was a virgin, actually. Like you
They
know?
did. They
I know.
did. And we
I'm like,
talked about it,
guys,
and we were like,
evolve.
like, you guys are a married couple. You have sex. You have a baby.
Yeah.
Like it
And-
happened.
Of
You
course,
guys
like-
did
like
it.
not that exciting when it happens again, even if it's been a while.
No, exactly, and like it's very truthful in terms of like when we went down there, Dawson, and about like the intimacy and like having like between the business and Dawson and us moving and our lives. Like, of course, like our dating life has definitely taken a back seat. So it was so nice to go down there.
Yeah.
But yeah, to the extent where I agree watching it, it was like, do they think you're a virgin?
They acted
Right.
as if I was.
Your date was your date was adorable, and like you guys talking on the beach and like talking about how your relationship has changed was so sweet. I love
thank
that.
you.
But I feel like if they gave us more of that and some maybe less of just like
Yeah, the farting's funny, and she's like the creamy Caesar.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course, put that in. But then like,
yes,
that's it.
But if you want to really focus on like, hey, this works, then talking about those things has more of an impact. I feel like
That
But
was
yes.
the only thing that we were really sad about when people were talking about like wanting to fast forward through our scenes. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, you fast forward through my farting for sure, but
Yeah.
like you should watch the beach scene.
Yes, no, like
that one's
yes.
beautiful.
Yeah. Yes.
And it is like it is really, you know, I mean, obviously everybody gets off the show. It's like, oh, it's therapy, and you know, you get to talk about everything. But it is nice, and we've mentioned this a couple times today about how, you know, there's so many times. Of course, we say we love each other so much every day. It's like I love you too, and I'll tell her how much I appreciate her.
Love you, bye. Love you,
Yeah,
bye.
yeah.
But
Yep,
we
yeah.
never explain why, and we haven't done that since probably our honeymoon. You know, so it'd been 3 years, and sometimes you just need those moments of being like, "Hey, I love you, but this is why."
Yeah.
And then talking about Dawson, and yeah, it gets us emotional every time because it's like, so my grandfather passed away last year, but I always think of him as like all of us do, like that's my grandfather. I never think of it as my dad's dad. And like then I think about it like what my dad means to me, and then what I hope, like now I'm his dad, and what I hope to be able to mean to him one day. And then yeah, it's like
Jared's gonna cry now.
I know, but it's like those-
again, you guys
Stop,
made me
I'm a
cry during
crier.
the date. I'm gonna like
those
now I'm gonna cry.
conversations. It's just weird, you know. And my dad was standing. He's such a proud grandpa. You know, he has like the T-shirt with the Haibon
Yeah.
like college.
Greatest grandpa.
Yeah.
Like he was like when he retired last year, he was like, I'm retiring because I'm gonna be a full-time grandpa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
But he was,
that's so cute.
He was holding Dawson, and then he was like, "Look at this, 3 generations." I'm like,
Oh,
yeah.
That's very sweet.
that is
Rhode
really
Island
sweet.
life is good. Like better than. Do you miss LA at all, or is it
I miss
just-
LA very
Yeah.
much.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have a good close circle of friends there, and I don't know. There's like a energy that I have there. I think when we were
course.
visiting in June, I was like, I burst in the hotel room. I go, Jared, I just got a green juice and lip injections.
Yeah,
I am
yeah.
home.
Yeah.
She's like, "I got a green juice and limp injections. It's not even 10 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm home."
Yeah. That's LA for you.
Yeah, I mean, of course, she misses LA, and I get it. You know, the glitz and glam of everything, and there's so much work and opportunity
Right.
over there. But I don't know, just West Coast wasn't for me. It's tough.
He's such an East Coast
Yeah.
guy. I
Yeah.
can.
No.
Yeah. It's just but it does seem from watching from afar that I do love the setup you guys got.
Aw,
And your house
thank
looks
you.
beautiful, and
Aw,
the
thanks.
shop and everything.
Yes.
Thank you.
Audrey's, and we're gonna have to.
You can do a podcast live from Audrey's. We'd
we
love
would
that.
That would
love
be
to
a
do
lot of
that. It would be
fun,
so much
actually.
fun.
Yeah.
We'd love to do that.
That would be a great
Yeah.
time.
We'll start arranging it.
Yeah, no,
Hey,
that would be a great time.
we would
We
have
just
a
did
great
a
time.
live podcast, me and Ben, last week, and people said it was their favorite Audrey's event thus far.
Yeah, it was fun. Cassie
Really?
flew in for it, which was so sweet.
That is
That would
very
actually
nice.
be a really
We should
good
talk
idea.
about that
do a
because I would love to
crossover
do
we
today.
that.
should
We can
do
have
it.
some
Yeah.
Bachelor people, and we'll do
Yeah.
like almost famous, and we'll do you guys.
No, we
Yeah.
should definitely talk about that.
That would be awesome. And I mean, I love Rhode Island, especially.
good.
So
I've
You
never
get
been to
Aaron
Rhode
there, and you guys
Island.
could meet Aaron for the first time, and I'll get him a martini with protein
perfect,
on the
perfect.
glass
It'll be
for
a
him.
good setup.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much
Yes.
for coming.
Thank
you.
you guys
Appreciate
so
it.
much.
This
and
is great.
he is just the cutest
Oh,
thing.
thank
He-
you. But when we
he
saw
is.
you guys on our agenda, we're
Oh,
like,
we were excited. You guys are awesome.
that's number one.
Good,
Oh,
good.
thank
Well, we
you
were
guys.
excited too. We were like, they said,
we can admit
you
that.
guys want Ashley and Jared to come in
No,
and
yes,
talk?
you can admit it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys want Ashley and Jared to come in. We're like, oh God, yes, we have to talk to
thank
them about
you.
this.
Yeah.
So we love you guys. Thank you for coming in. Thanks for bringing Dawson and everyone. We're excited. We'll be back to recap next week.
Yep.
Thank you so much for having us
Yeah,
and
seriously.
not being tired of us.
Yeah.